Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to League Racing TV here for round number 7 of the TML Formula 2 season here in season 9. I am Ivan Knight, going to be taking you through the action on my own tonight. Unfortunately, no James out alongside me, but I promise I'll do everything I can to make sure that the commentary doesn't drop off. Of course, tonight we are here for Singapore, and what a track it is. A 5-kilometer circuit in length, 23 grueling corners, a lot of very tricky corners with those walls enclosing on the track, meaning there's no margin for error. As we are getting into qualifying now, we're going to see who's going to come out on top here in Singapore. While we're doing that, I'm just going to quickly get the standings up so we can go through everything. Okay, so the standings, it is Yellow Gleason leading the way on 146 points, with Siege in second place on 112. LRE Dan in third on 103, with Legend on 93, Wheel Powdy on 90, Yaham on 80 points, Dylan on 77, Charlie on 71, Evil Chris on 69, Jamie is the last runner inside the top 10 on 55. And we got Great Elmo on 48, Ronnie on 45, Roy God on 38, Atlas Copo on 32, Ghost on 27, Cygate on 26, Kiki on 24, OWR Preb on 15, down in 18th place. FRL Charlie, I believe he's on here twice, one from when he was a reserve, so he has an extra 13 points to my knowledge, so that's 84. That puts him up into 6th, jumping ahead of Yaham and Dylan. So there we go, we've got all that sorted. Bradley in 19th on 13 points, and Mays in 20th on 10. And that is the top 20 and how it is looking so far. So let's have a look and see who is the man who is going to be the first person to set a lap, and it's going to be, I believe it is going to be Cygate. So we'll stay on board with Cygate for a full lap of the Marina Bay Street Circuit here in Singapore, and we're going to see how Cygate navigates his way around this 5-kilometer circuit and how he negotiates all these corners with the walls enclosed on the track on himself. So here we go now, as we are about to get the flying lap underway, the first one of the session. Cygate trying to look for the best exit possible to launch himself down the pit straight in towards turn number 1. Braking a little bit late there, as you see, just misses the apex there, turn 1, and it does compromise him a little bit through turns 2 and 3, but he's able to keep it all together and all valid now through the kink of turn 4, now through turn 5. All about the exit here as you open DRS on the run down in towards turn number 7, through the kink of turn number 6. Now through turn 7, using as much track as possible, and now through turn 8. Through turn 9 goes Cygate now, as we come to the Singapore Sling, through turns number 10 and into 11, little kink of turn 12 and into the hairpin of turn 13. Once again, this is all about traction on the exit. Gain as much traction as you can, DRS wide open as we run down in towards turn 14. It's a 105.2 in the middle sector for Cygate so far as we go through turn 14, using as much track as possible. Once again, now into turn number 16 and into 17, where we could be seeing some front wings go flying off. Now under the bridge through 18 and 19, now into the final few corners of 2021. Now it's just the double left-hander of 22-23. Let's see what it's going to be for Saige in the Alpha Tauri to the line, and it's going to do a 138.6. And we're going to see if that's going to be beaten by anyone. And it's immediately beaten by Charlie. And it's immediately beaten by Yellow Gleason, 7 times quicker, but is on a softer compounder tyre. Going to go on board with Dan for this one, as we're going to see what LRE Dan is going to be able to do out there on track. As we're in the final sector, LRE Dan, one of the championship protagonists, as Atlas Cobo crosses the line, does a 39.3. He's definitely going to be looking to find a bit more time throughout the session. But now into the penultimate 2 corners here. It is Dan to the line. Is it going to be a new pole setter? It is Dan with a 37.1. About a tenth and a half quicker than Yellow Gleason out on top right now. As Yellow Gleason's in the wall there, and that's a bit of front wing gone. As Yaham there with a 36.8. Yaham absolutely doing fantastic there. And we saw last week in Zandvoort, the McLarens doing well. Are we going to see a resurgence of the McLarens? Of course, last week we didn't have Yellow Gleason here, and unfortunately Dylan was unable to set a trying to do there, and there we go, there's lag. There we go, that's what it was lag. We'll have to see who is the next one. Come to the line. Is Dylan close to the end? Yes, he is. He's in the final sector. Let's see what Dylan McGivern can do here through the final 2 corners. And he'll cross the line to go into P2 with a 37 flat. Not good enough to touch Yaham right now. As we got Tam in chat saying he taught Yaham well. I don't know if you want to claim that. I don't know if you want to claim that yet. Yaham does have a history throughout this season of good qualifying but poor races, where mistakes creep in. We hope he'll carry on the form that he showed last week in Zandvoort. Of course, it was a great performance for both of the McLaren drivers. Hey, look, Maze, I can't lie, mate. I can't lie. I don't have the headspace right now for Welsh. I can't lie to you. Between them and Shara come right. That's all I'm going to say right now. Do not have the headspace right. On board with Maximum Attack though, he is on an outlap, so we're going to see how he gets on. And there we go, goes around. Maximum Attack there losing the car, and that is not what you want to see on an outlap. I'm going to leave you guys on board with Cygate for 2 seconds because I forgot I haven't got my bottle of water with me, so I shall be back in just a moment while I get. So we'll stay on board with Cygate for his second run here. Okay, I am back as we come to the end of Cygate's lap, and it's a 3/10 improvement. Doesn't get many positions, but it does bring him a lot closer to the guys ahead of him. Let's go both 4 tenths up in the middle sector. 6 tenths up in the middle sector. This is exactly what he needs to get himself ahead of Ghost and Preb. Can he find any more time? No, he cannot, because he has invalidated. Charlie over a 10th up in sector 1. He has switched on to the red walled soft tyres here now. Just over 6 minutes to go in qualifying. Is Yaham out on top? But can this man Charlie find enough time on those soft tyres? Get himself ahead as Powdy goes up in the second place. It's a McLaren front row once again. Reminiscent of Zandvoort last week. 6 tenths up, and oh my... Okay. That happened. Everyone in the chat is probably just as perplexed as I am. As we got Yellow Gleason now 4 tenths up on his lap time. As we come into the final sector. Charlie, you won't be too happy. I was on board with you throughout the entire thing. I saw exactly what happened. As Dan puts it on provisional pole with a 36.5. Can Yellow Gleason get there? He gets a 36.8. Dylan McGivern with a 36.5 as well. Wow. Lap time's coming in thick and fast now. We saw Powdy improve massively, getting up into what was P2. And then we saw Dan improve. We saw Yellow Gleason improve. Then we saw Dylan improving up into provisional pole position. What a lap time that is from Dylan. Graham is on his out lap. needs to respond now. Ghost is going to come into the pit, so do we have anyone close to the end of their final lap? Well, we do have Roigard. Roigard through the final couple of corners. Can he find a bit more time here? Through the final corner, is it going to be an improvement for Roigard? It is. Just under 2 tenths, and it gets him up ahead of Charlie. Charlie under serious pressure now in terms of being outside of the top 10. And we're going to go on board with Yaham, see if he can respond. He needs to find over 3 tenths of a second. Can he do it? We're going to find out. DRS wide open to start the lap on the run down in towards turn number 1. See how he hooks up turns 1, 2 and 3. Looking smooth so far from Yaham. Now through turn number 5. Good traction on the exit there. DRS open. ERS flowing as we run down the first sector split. Is it an improvement? It is an improvement. Yaham is up on his time in sector 1. Can he carry this on through sectors 2 and 3? As we come up into turn number 10. Singapore Sling through 11. Little King to 12. Into the hairpin at turn 13. DRS wide open once again. Yaham middle sector. Oh, he's 2.5 tenths up. He needs a bit more time for Yaham if he wants to get himself up on top. And you can see he's absolutely using everything he can, but he's clipped the inside wall and around he has gone. It's all gone horribly wrong for Yaham, and he's going to try. Is he going to try and go again? Surely not. I think he's going to retire. So. You know it's bad when your controller it turns off for no good reason. You have 3 bars of battery, but your controller just turns off. Okay, so here we go. McLaren teamwork. Yaham bottled on his lap, but he's going to help Powdy. Powdy marginally up in sector 1. Needs to find the time now through sectors 2 and 3, and needs to avoid the same mistake that his teammate made moments ago. Oh. Yellow Gleason. Would that be blocking? Yaham, Powdy needs to be careful. Needs to get out of the way of these cars in behind him. See if anyone can get any higher up the grid. Dan is going to be the first one out of the front runners, so we'll stay on board with Dan here out of the hairpin. He was over a 10th up in sector 1. Let's see if he can carry us through sector 2. He's still over a 10th up. Let's see, is he going to do a Yaham in the final sector? Legend retires from the session, currently in P7 is Legend. And Atlas Copo there, big improvement up in the P7, knocks Charlie out of the top 10. Dan to the line. Can he get a pole position? Yes he can, it's a 36.3 for Dan. He gets himself on pole position. Great Elmo. Let's see if he can get himself any higher up the grid. No, he cannot. So there we go. That is qualifying over and done with. LRE Dan takes pole position ahead of Dylan. So here we go, we'll run you through the qualifying order one more time. It is LRE Dan taking pole position ahead of Dylan McGivern in second place. That's a front row start for Dylan once again. Yannick Gleason in third with Yaham alongside him on the second row. Then we got Powdy in fifth with Evo Chris in sixth, Siege in seventh, Atlas Copo in eighth, ninth for Legend, and Ghost rounding out the top 10. Outside of the top 10 we do have Roygard. Then we have Charlie. Hopefully this time he won't be touching the walls because his front wheel needs to recover after what just happened there. He's down in 12th. Sygate in 13th. And Preb in 14th. 15th I believe was OWR Ronnie with Great Elmo in 16th. Maximum Attack in 17th. And Die Miles picking up P18 at the back of the pack. And ladies and gentlemen, it is raining here in Singapore. Alright, so information we're getting in the chat right now. Charlie saying it will go dry midway through the race. As we go to those 5 red lights. Lights are out and we are underway here. 31 laps of Singapore await these 18 drivers as Dan very smooth through turn 1, and it looks like Yaha may have made a little bit of contact on the back of Dylan as Dylan loses out not only to his teammate but to Yaham too, but he gets the traction out in the exit and he is up into P3. Evo Chris around the outside of Powdy as he goes side by side. Oh, there's a Haas in the background. That's Great Elmo there getting a little bit out of shape. Siege on the back of these two up ahead of him, and he's going to be looking for any opportunity here. Evo Chris goes a bit deep. Powdy, is he going to think about coming back at him? No, he's not. He's going to stick him behind the Haas for the time being. It is proper wet out there at the moment. Charlie down in 12th place, and he needs to get himself going, try to get himself through the pack as quickly as possible. Roygard on the back of Legend. Atlas Copo losing out at the start as well. He's down a couple of positions. Meanwhile though, Dan holding a 6/10 lead to Yerigisen as he's dropped down to less than half a second. Well, we got Charlie all over the back of Sygate, and oh my god, the bouncing around. Okay, yep, that is That is what we like to call internet. Just not working. As Dan sets the initial fastest lap of the race. Meanwhile, it looks like Powdy has lost touch with the top 5 as he's under pressure now from Siege, the P6. As we got Charlie all over the back of Sidegate. Needs to get this move done now. Doesn't look to have the straight line speed. Oh, as he almost goes into the back of Sidegate there. So we'll go back up towards the front because Yellow Gleason has closed up to the back of Dan. The championship leader chasing down the race leader in LRE Dan. As Dan runs wide there, and you can see Yellow Gleason there taking a nice narrow line, and that's helped him out in these conditions. He's got on the traction a lot earlier. Has brought him right onto the back of the Alfa Romeo. The top 9 all within a second of each other. Oh, as Yellow Gleason gets a little bit out of shape there. Dylan with the new fastest lap of the race, so he's not messing around now. He's looking to put the pace down, put his teammate under pressure. As it looks like we've got a Ferrari of maximum attack that's gone around at the back. He's going to be overtaken by Ronnie in towards turn number 1. And Ronnie will get that position. Meanwhile, Dylan, not a very good first couple of corners. He's back under pressure from Yahan once again in behind him. From losing the car once again, and as now we got Charlie all over the back of Sidegate for P11. Needs to get this move done, can't afford to stay too long behind the Alpha Tauri. See if Charlie now can get a move done, otherwise we will revert back up to the top. We're going to go back up to the top because Yahan is getting close to the back of Dylan. Down Miles picks himself up a 3-second time penalty, the first one of the session. Back down to Charlie because Charlie's all over the back of Sidegate. Around the outside, difficult to tell what's going on with the lag that I am currently receiving, but I think Charlie has got that move done. Charlie now up into P11. Needs to get hunting down Atlas Cobo now and then try to chase after Roygard. As Charlie has left the session. So maybe it wasn't my internet, maybe it was Charlie's. A rare thing that happens indeed, and it is not my internet. But we got Yaham on the back of Dylan McGivern, and he's getting close. The question is, will he get close enough into turn one to go for a move? That's a good line through the penultimate corner, but just that back end stepping out on him momentarily, and that has cost him a run down in towards turn number one. Yeah, you were bouncing around all over the place with me, Charlie. Well, yeah, I'm under pressure from Evil Chris. Looks like Evil Chris does have the advantage on Yaham in terms of the first couple of corners. It's a question of if he can stay with him throughout the rest of the lap. You see Evil Chris losing touch to Yaham in the middle sector. Big final sector needed from Evil Chris if he wants a chance again past Yaham here. Charlie says he should be back in. Still a ghost car from me, Charlie. As the rain has stopped. The rain has stopped here in Singapore, and now we wait to see when these guys make the switch. Will we see dry tyres this lap? Will we see dry tyres the next lap? Oh, yeah, I'm getting very close to the rear end of that. Now Williams ahead of him. I believe Charlie is back in the car now. You can see that time between him and Ghost up ahead beginning to close down. As Dave Miles picks himself up another 3-second time penalty. As it looks like he has gone around at the Singapore sling. Yaham putting the Williams under pressure. No one coming into the pits this early on. As Dan sets a new fastest lap and he is pulling away. 1.2 seconds the gap. Dylan had a little peek on his teammate up ahead. Maybe giving a little bit of a notification there. Get a move on, mate. So well, let's see if Yaham is close enough to Dylan here. 2 times off the back. And he's able to get it done. Of course, even though it has stopped raining, it looks like the track is going to take a while to dry out. Lap 7 of 31, the rain has stopped. Everyone's still on their intermediate tyres. Darren Miles is coming to the pits and he has retired from the session. In fact, no, he hasn't, and that's brought out a safety car. Darren Miles has actually lost it through the final corner. Okay, safety car on lap number 7. Tell you what, Dan is going to be furious. As you can see, Dylan is trying to back off the other Gleason as much as possible so he can do the double stack. I don't think Yaham was particularly happy with that, but is what it is, and we'll see if the double stack works as the medium tyres go on. And it looks like double stack has worked a small little hold there, and think Dylan will just get ahead of you or Chris. Yes, he does. And they set the hard compound tyres out, so Dylan going to try and go to the end of the race from here. I think these guys are going to have to be pretty careful, as I don't think it's quite ready for dry tyres yet. Not quite ready for dry tyres yet, but will it be ready when the safety car goes? Dan, our net race leader, currently in 6th place. As we see more drivers peel off into the pit lane. Siege is in, Sygate's in, Charlie's in. Meanwhile, you've got Ghost and Legend sticking it out on the intermediate tyres. Well, now it definitely looks dry through Sector 1. Let's have a look and see what the conditions are like in Sector 2. looks like it's looks pretty clear in sector 2 now, to be fair. I believe we'll see Legend and Ghost come into the pits at the end of this lap as well, as I'm pretty sure the safety car will stay out for another lap, because as you can see, Maximum Attack there has lost the car, and he did do a reset the track there, which is very naughty indeed. Alright, well, while we are waiting for the safety car to come in, I am quickly just going to go and sort something out. 2 seconds, guys, and I'll be right back. Okay, so we are back for the safety car restart. Yeah, Gleason on the back of Dan. When does Dan go? Well, he's gone now, but Gleason is wise to it and almost gets the jump on him. As Johan comes into the pits, and I'm not sure what that is for. Is that for a front wing change? Yes, it is. Johan picking up front wing damage under the safety car. Meanwhile, you got Dylan McGivern getting past Evil Chris. I don't know if Tam is in the chat, but it's not looking good for Johan right now. Oh, once again, Charlie needs to do the overtake on Cygate. This time though, it is for P7. He has a bit of a buffer in behind the Great Elmo. He's under pressure from Roygar. And then behind them, you've got the Red Bulls scrapping with Legend on the back of them. And Maximus just getting past Atlas Kobo there for P14. And of course, we got Ghost down towards the back, and then Yaham who made that pit stop for front wing change. Meanwhile, at the front, Dan under pressure from Yellow Gleason. A Siege sets a new fastest lap of the race. I have a feeling once it does get to DRS, it's going to be a difficult task for Dan to keep these guys behind. Dylan doing good at the moment in P3 on those hard tyres. He will have the grip advantage later on in this race. That's what he needs to hope for. Stick with the medium runners, and then once their tyres go, your tyres come in. Charlie almost goes straight into the back of Cygate there. Almost hits his wheel off like we did in qualifying as well. Needs to watch that wall on the left. It definitely is sticking out at him, and he's getting very close to it once again. And this DRS should be enabled this lap. Here we go. Evo Chris picks up a 3-second time penalty. And now we're going to see it. We are going to see the battle for the race lead begin to hot up. As with DRS, Dan is defenseless. As Yaham sets a new fastest lap of the race, showing off his pace, but as it currently stands, he is all the way down in last place in P17. As Yaham, not having the best of times, having to make that second pit stop for a front wing change. He'll be kicking himself at the fact that the leaders were going through turn 14 as he was going through turn 8. He'll be absolutely kicking himself for that, and I'm not sure what happened under the safety car for him to pick up wing damage. I'm not sure if he went into the back of the car head or if he just lost it and hit a wall. But either way, it's a long night for Yaham. As Cygate picks himself up a 3-second time penalty. Meanwhile, you got Elmo dropping down the order. He's been overtaken by both Legend and Maximum Attack, and he does have Atlas Kopo in behind him now as well. As Ghost tries to get the move done on Ronnie, and he's gonna get it done. Meanwhile, you got Preb going through as well. Ronnie losing out 2 spots, and Legend and Maximum Attack side by side as they go into the middle sector. You can see the red flashing light. Legend has no ERS to his disposal, and that's a big squeeze over to the left hand side wall from Legend on Maximum Attack, but Maximum Attack still down the inside. Bit more contact between the pair, and it looks like, oh, as Maximum Attack has lost it. I don't think there was any contact there. I think he's just lost that on pure traction. The battle was getting spicy. These guys were absolutely elbows out to the fullest in that battle, but Maximum Attack, from what it looks like, it looked like he just lost it. Meanwhile, this is not what Cygate needs. He needs to get back within that 1 second window if he wants to keep Charlie in behind. Oh, he's not able to get back within that 1 second, so Charlie is going to have the opportunity to get past him here. Yellow Gleason has lost out to, well, I say lost out. Yellow Gleason has broken away from Dylan McGivern. It's Dylan who lost out. And if he doesn't stay within DRS, he's going to get stuck in the pressure as well. As it looks like Maximum Attack and Ronnie have potentially come together. And we're going to see, look, as again through turns 8, Yaham can see the rest of the pack going through turn 14. As Yellow Gleason unable to get close enough for a move once again. He just needs to run out one of these corners as Powdy closing down on Evil Chris. Meanwhile, Ghost in the pits, another set of mediums going on to his Aston Martin. Yaham has managed to get past both Ronnie and Preb, as Ronnie is actually in the pits as well. As the battle for the lead has swapped over, as it looks like it's getting very spicy here with Dan and Yellow Gleason. We just cut on right at the end of that battle, so I do apologise for that. But looked like a small bit of contact between Dan and Yellow Gleason, and that's what's caused Yellow Gleason to lose that position back to Dan. Meanwhile, Dylan in behind his teammate. Is he going to look for a move? No, he's not. He's going to stick him behind. And look at everyone beginning to bunch up once again. Meanwhile, we got Charlie over the back of Cygate. This is for P7. Of course, these guys are about 3 seconds off that train up ahead, and Charlie will probably back himself to try and close in on that train. We're going to see if once again Yellow Gleason can put Dan under enough pressure. I think he is a bit too far back. Powdy also a bit too far back. But what about Charlie? Charlie too far back. And Evil Chris, no ERS to his name now as Preb is retired. And I think that is in the pit lane as Ghost comes into the pits. Is this going to be a front wing change for Ghost, as Ghost is retired as well? So 2 retirees in the pit lane on lap 16 of 31. We are over halfway through this race. Dan is currently leading the way ahead of Yellow Gleason in second, Dylan McGivern in third, where he's under pressure from Powley and Evo Chris and Sygate. Sygate under pressure from Charlie. The question is, when does Charlie pounce? Well, Evo Chris and C's moving up the spots because Powley's into the pits and he puts himself up a 5-second time penalty. As another set of mediums goes on to the McLaren. Now Charlie is close. He is as close as he's actually been in a long time. Switch back for Charlie. Can he get the traction down? Oh, a bit of contact there between Sygate and Charlie. And Charlie is going to swoop on through and up into P6. Meanwhile, Powley gets straight past maximum attack. No issues whatsoever. Yaham gets through as well. And that is a virtual safety car here on lap 18. And they need to make sure they're not going to be speeding and potentially picking up a speeding penalty. They do not want to drive through. Lap 18 of 31, Dan still leads. Yellow Gleason's in second place. They're both coming into the pits. Dylan McGivern will take over the race lead. And Charlie will go up now into a net P2. And it's going to be pretty much a free pit stop for both Yellow Gleason and Dan, as Chris is just going to miss out as Powley goes through and up into P8. Yaham, he's just going to get ahead of Evo Chris here. So that is big for Yaham. He's got himself up in the P10. He's on the back of maximum attack, so if he can get past the Ferrari, try and close down his teammate, should get spicy. Now look at this, Yellow Gleason all over the back of Dan. It's basically pushing him through the corners now. The championship leader versus one of his challengers. Ellery Dan coming back here tonight looking for a race win. Yellow Gleason missed last week. He's looking for a bit of redemption as he goes down the inside in towards turn 14. And it looked like Dan was wanting for a switchback, but Yellow Gleason completely parked it on the apex, not allowing the switchback to happen. And because of it, it looks like Dan just could not get the run that he needed to get to get away early on. Dylan picks up a 3-second time penalty. That is huge. And he is somehow behind Charlie. I don't know how that happened, but Charlie is now into a net race lead. Evil Chris and Yarham side by side. Evil Chris picking up a 3-second time penalty. He's got Yarham in his sights. He's got the DRS, he's got the ERS. He's going to try around the outside. He's going to be able to pull this off on the Papaya Orange McLaren. No, he's not, but he's going to stick it down the inside in towards turn number 8. Chris got a fantastic run there mid-corner on Yarham, but backs out of it, and that's a smart thing to do because it's one of them ones where you want to do the overtake safe. Protect your race as much as anyone else's. As Dylan's out. Wow, and that is a full course safety car. Do we see leaders coming in? We see Charlie coming in. As it looks like Yellow Gleason has managed to get through on Dan just before the safety car come out. So Yellow Gleason into the race lead, but now Charlie has just been released on his pit box. He's going to come out behind Dan, but is he going to be ahead of Powdy? No, he's going to come out behind Powdy. Well, that's exactly what Yarham needed to close back in. He's on a fresh set of medium tyres now. And now everyone will bunch themselves back up once again. Lap 21 of 31. Siege is the race leader right now. Of course, he just passed the pit lane entry when the safety car got deployed. Now this is going to be very interesting. Siege has stayed out. Does he continue to stay out? Safety car will be out for one more lap. Siege does stay out, so I think he's going to try and stretch his mediums to the end, or potentially go for a late stop on softs. Yellow Gleason, the net race leader. Right behind you got Dan in there as well, and Dan now can go back on the attack on Yellow Gleason. He definitely had more ERS to his name. Powdy could be under pressure from Charlie on the restart. Will it be Dan? Will it be Yellow Gleason? Will it be Charlie? That's going to be the question, guys. Who is going to come out on top? Can Siege stretch his tyres all the way to the end and hold off these guys? That's another question in itself. Personally, I think he's going to try and stretch to the source, but I don't know. Everyone apart from Siege should be able to get to the end from here. Even Ronnie, I know he's on 6 lap old mediums, but he's been under safety car conditions for a lot of them. Safety car is in this lap, so Siege will now be the virtual Burt Mylander. Okay guys, lap 22 of 31. We got Siege, 13 lap old medium. It's going to try and stretch him out as long as possible. You got Yellow Gleason, you got Dan, you got Powdy, you got Charlie, you got Evil Chris. I want to get some podium predictions going on right now in the chat. Who is going to win this race? Who's going to be on the podium? Let me know. As there we go, Siege through the final corner. As you see, Yellow Gleason there, a little bit of opposite lock as he tries to keep the car under control. As he is absolutely trying everything to get past this Mercedes, but as it currently stands, close but no cigar. But this could be it now. Meanwhile, in behind, you got Charlie having a look on Powdy down the inside, and he's going to get that done. Dan around the outside of Siege. Job done for Dan, and same for Charlie. Oh, a bit of a squeeze, but here goes the Mercedes teamwork. Siege not going to hold up Charlie, and Charlie is through, and Yaham has lost it once again. Yaham cannot have a good race. Powdy really trying to get through on Siege, and he squeezes him out all the way to the wall. And now Legend, Chris and Roygard are next up in line to try and get past the Mercedes car. Absolute heartbreak for Yaham. Absolute heartbreak. I'll tell you what, due to probably getting put off by Siege, Legends must sneak past Chris. Oh, maximum attack is gone as well, and that's another reset to track for maximum attack, and that's not what we like to see. Meanwhile, we do have Legend and Siege going side by side through turns 7 and 8. Legend going to come out on top on those fresh tyres. The top 3 still within a second of each other. Yellow Decent ahead of Dan, ahead of Charlie. None of these three have a 3-second time penalty. It's all going to be about who can get it done on pace. As maximum attack has left the session, DRS has been enabled here. Yaham is in the pit lane, so I'm guessing that's a front wing change for the McLaren once again. And Ewok Chris is out of the race. Yaham's out of the race. Maximum attack out the race. You know, Chris leaving the session, and that is not what you like to see. Meanwhile, the top three bunching up again. This is close stuff. We've got Roygard in the back of Siege. In fact, he's just managed to get through. Roygard up in the P6, Siege down in the P7. This battle though for the race lead. Yellow Gleason, Dan and Charlie. We are about to start lap 26 of 31. And you can see Powdy is just ominously lurking in the background, waiting for an opportunity. As Ronnie picks up a 3-second time penalty once again, and that's another one. That's one thing I want to have a look at. I want to have a look at the time penalties, and apparently it's showing me so many warnings of the 3-second time penalty, but I think the game is slightly glitching. It's giving us the time penalty on more than one occasion. Dan with DRS has managed to get himself back through and into the race lead. Does have a 7/10 gap now to Yellow Gleason. And then you got Charlie right there, ready and waiting. Charlie on the back of Yellow Gleason, and he looks like the most likely to try and make a move here in this top 3 scrap. Charlie gets close to the back of Yellow Gleason, but not close enough. He's looking for an opportunity. Can Charlie get the move done on the championship leader? Apparently Ronnie with another 3-second time penalty. Yahan with a 5-second for crossing the pit lane, exit the white lines. Charlie needs to launch an attack here if he wants anything more out of this race. Definitely looks like he has the more pace between him and Yellow Gleason. Siege with a 5-second time penalty. It's not looking good for Siege either. Here we go, that is the tyre compound. We are on lap 28.31. It is Dan leading the way. He's got about half a second to Yellow Gleason. Yellow Gleason's been under pressure from Charlie. But these guys now beginning to battle a little bit, and you see Powdy is closing himself back in. And any mistake, he can capitalise. And it looks like Yaham once again may have hit a wall. Nobody's picked himself up a 3-second time penalty. The top three separated by just over a second. Dan currently leading the way. 8 tenths the gap between him and Yellow Gleason. Yellow Gleason under pressure now from Charlie, and will Charlie have a look now in towards turn number 1? No, he's not. He's going to stay out of it this time around. However, it's all about that launch now out of turn 5 for Charlie. If he wants to get a hope of taking the race winners, Yaham is out of this race. He needs to get the good run. He needs to use his ERS. He needs to overtake Yellow Gleason right here, right now. But he just couldn't do it. He just ran out of legs right at the end. And will that be a last ditch effort from Charlie? Down all over the back of taking a chance here to try and get himself a win. Dan needs to keep his composure together. Yellow Gleason all over the back of him, trying to put Dan under pressure, trying to make Dan crumble. Meanwhile, you got Charlie in behind Yellow Gleason, trying to do the exact same thing to Yellow Gleason. Put the pressure on, try and make him crumble. He has the fresher tyres. But does he have enough in the tank to get a overtake done on Yellow Gleason on this lap to set Dan up for the final lap? That's what he needs to do. Now in towards turn number 1, we are on the penultimate lap of the race, lap 30 of 31. Yellow Gleason losing a bit of touch to Dan here in the first sector. As we've got the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. James Head in the chat. Just in time. Yes, you are. We've had a lovely intermediate to dry race. A Siege sets a new fastest lap with a 1:39.6. Dan leading the way by 5 tenths of a second, just about holding that gap to Yellow Gleason in behind, as Charlie has actually left the session. Charlie's lagged out. Charlie has lagged out of the session for a second time here tonight, and he was on the podium. This means that Powdy potentially could get himself up onto the podium, perhaps. Charlie's in the chat saying he was perfectly fine. I'm not entirely sure anymore, but I think you got enough to stay ahead of Powdy. But it looks like Powdy's actually losing a lot of time. to Legend here. Has Powdy got wing damage perhaps? Yes, he has. Powdy with ring damage. We're on the final lap of the race. Yellow Geese and one opportunity now with DRS to try and get this overtake and this race lead off of Dan in towards turn number 7. Has he got the legs? Dan covers the inside, holds off as Legend now gets himself ahead of Powdy. Powdy with wing damage and unable to hold off the Alpine as he goes flying through, and now it's a race. Can Legend get that podium from Charlie? Charlie is ghosting. It's a question of can Legend close in enough, but can Yellow Geese get now the run out of the hairpin to take away a race win here? The question, he will have DRS, he will use his ERS, but I don't think he's got enough. No, he doesn't. Yellow Gleason just doesn't have enough in the tank to try and put Dan under the pressure. And now for this final sector, Dan, all he's got to do is keep it composed for a few more corners, and he should be breathing a sigh of relief as he will come through the final 2 corners for the final time. He's weaving, he knows he's won, but it is going to be Dan who takes victory here in Singapore ahead of Yellow Geese, and Charlie will come home in 3rd, Legend in 4th. Powdy will drop all the way down to 7th. He was in 4th ahead of Legend, and I think he was quite safe from Legend, but that wing damage cost him Powdy massively as he loses out to not only Legend but to Roygard, to Sygate, and he comes home in 7th. Great Elmo in 8th. Ronnie will cross the line in 9th, but he will lose out to Siege in the end, who I believe picked up the fastest lap as well. Yes, he has. He's picked up the fastest lap as well, so Siege P9 with the fastest lap. Ronnie will cross the line in P10. Now we wait for Atlas Copo and Maximum Attack to come across the line. Atlas Copo through the final corner, gonna pick up P11. I think Maximum Attack was ghosted for quite a bit of that race, so I don't think his position will count, but the man on the top step of the podium, Dan, a fantastic performance, a fantastic win. Yellow Geese pushed him all the way, but in the end there just wasn't enough left in the tank for Yellow Geese to make a real challenge to Dan. What could have been for Charlie if he didn't lag out right at the end there, because he was all over the back of Yellow Geese and definitely could have put in a challenge for P2, I would have thought. And maybe he could have been the one to challenge Dan. But it's not how it has gone. It has gone the way of the Alfa Romeo. It has gone the way of Dan. And that is another race victory for Dan. Another podium for Yellow Geese and for Charlie as well. So we'll run you through the order one more time. It is Dan who takes victory ahead of Yellow Geese, Charlie rounding off the podium. 4th place we do have Legend with 5th man Roygard, and then we got in 6th Sygate. Real Powdy in 7th, for Great Elmo in 8th. In 9th place with the fastest lap we have Siege. Ronnie picking up P10. Atlas Copo picking up P11. Maximum Attack was AI crossing the line, and I don't know, I believe he was gone throughout the majority of the race, so I'm not sure if his points will count. Then our non-finishers were Yaham, Evil Chris, Dylan McGivern, Ghost, Preb and Die Miles. And that is going to bring an end to round number 7 at Singapore, and it was a fantastic race. And let me just quickly quickly get the calendar up just so I know what we have coming up next week. Oh, next week, round number 8. We travel from here in Singapore and we go all the way to the States. It's time for the Circuit of the Americas. It is the USA Grand Prix and the second sprint race of the season. Yes, we got a sprint race in Kota next week and we shall see you there. I hope we'll have F1 going as well on Thursday. It depends on what the attendance is looking like. If you was looking to watch F1 yesterday, all we can do is apologise. The attendance just wasn't there to run the race. But F2 always coming through with good attendance, and that is what we love to see. So for that, for me, for tonight, I've been Mike. Congratulations to Dan, Yellow Gleason and Charlie on the podium, and the race win for Dan. Until next week, good night.